head office, but we start off with the Vancouver Canucks, who kicked the cat out, now bring a guy in who's trying to stay out of the doghouse.
Here we go. Sitting on the bench for all but a few seconds of Saturday's loss to Calgary, Dan Cloutier learned one thing about his new team as he mentally prepared to get his first start in Canuck colors tonight. Don't relax, not even for a minute or a minute 21, as Bob Essensa found out. Working on a shutout in the third period, Essensa watched 3 pucks get by him in that span, and the Canucks were dealt a loss at home, looking to bounce back with the Capitals in town, and there he is. Dan Cloutier, the man they came to see making his first start as a Canuck. First period, the Capitals with an odd man rush, and Cloutier is tested. Chris Simon with a great effort out of the air, but Cloutier right there, getting the crowd on his side early on. Late in the first period, now Washington on the power play, and you can't stop that. The one-timer from Johansson looked like it might have hit something on the way through, but it's 1-0 Caps after one either way in the fourth of the year. Second period off the face-off, Jan Bulis trips Harold Druken. Bulis gets a penalty, and this fan needs to go back to school. Check the spelling. Nice work. You got on TV, though.
Great.
Ensuing power play, Marcus Nathan sends in Todd Bertuzzi, and just bowl your way right into the net, take the puck with you, and it's tied at 1, 20th of the year for big number 44. Caps on the power play, Peter Bonder watched the shot. Got a little help from the deflection of Matthias Olin's stick. 2-1 Washington in the 34th of the year for Bonder. He's on fire. Naslund then pushes Trent Whitfield from behind and gets 2 minutes for holding, which has Mark Crawford very disturbed and wondering what exactly happened. Ensuing power play, Sergei Gonchar's shot does not get through. Chris Simon, stop. Adam Oates hanging around. The veterans nowhere to go to find the puck, and it's 3-1 Caps after 2. But the Canucks battle back in the third. On the power play, Brendan Morrison, all kinds of room, and he tees it up using Bertuzzi as the screen. Great game for Bertuzzi. Canucks trail it 3-2. Late in the third, Vancouver pressing. Naslund from the point. In a weak spin-around shot, Bertuzzi gets a deflection. I told you he had a good game. Tied at 3. In overtime, Sylvain Cote drops to Gonchar down the wing. Cloutier flashes the leather, and the Caps, though, keep coming. Adam Oates. Oh, what a shot in overtime, and he spoils the debut of Dan Cloutier. 4-3. The Capitals win it. Adam Oates, 2 goals on this night. He doesn't score that many. 51st of his career. Cloutier earns a point for the first time since a 1-1 tie on December 30th versus Boston. He had 25 saves, 2 goals, and a helper for Todd Bertuzzi. Well, Perry Solkowski, the team didn't win, but at least they're not leaving town, which is good news. And you have Adam Oates, one of the great classy veterans in the NHL. This man just keeps on going, eh?
Yeah, find the silver lining exactly, Brad. As you said, Adam Oates joins me right now. Things are on a roll. You disappointed in the fact that you had the 2-goal bulge in the third, and they came back?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, you know, the power play they got in the third was a big goal for them, got them going again. And, you know, last few games we've had leads and let it slide. But we've played pretty good hockey for the most part, and we're happy with the win.
Power play said got them going. Talk about yours, though. It's just been on an absolute tear through again tonight.
Yeah, you know, the power play's been really carrying us ever since we added Dmitry Kristich down low. It's really given us 5 guys who play the positions well and have the right sticks, and it's allowed Bonzi and Gonch to really tee it up out there, and it's been working well.
OT, obviously, Mark Crawford goes with 3 forwards, trying to roll and pick up the point. Is that something you guys do at all, or do you just sit back and have the 2 D-men that always jump up?
We have the 2 D-men. You know, we have like 3 or 4 D that can really jump into play, and you know, on the eastern side, everybody plays a trap, plays conservative hockey, so it's not something we're used to doing. And obviously tonight their line was hot, so you know, putting 3 forwards out in the offensive zone, it's not necessarily a bad idea.
You're the setup man. We got a couple goals tonight. Let's take a look at them. Is it just a matter of you usually shoot when you know you're going to score because the shooting percentage is so high?
Well, it's kind of a lucky one, obviously. Gonch makes a good shot, Sai rebound, and I'm just in the right spot at the right time.
And the OT winner.
The OT winner was kind of a bad bounce by right here. The pass kind of got over the guy's stick, and I just you know, had good range, good shot.
Where did things turn around for this hockey team after a tough 2 months to start?
Well, you know, everybody talks about it because we had a tough start last year, but I think this year was a little different. You know, Oli got hurt in camp, had to have surgery on his knee, and we had Chris Simon and Sergei Gonchar holding out, which, you know, talk about 3 of our top 5-6 guys in the lineup last year, and you know, when they came back, it took a while for everything to get going and gelling, and I think if you take away the first month, we've been a pretty solid hockey team.
Adam, appreciate you coming out here. Good luck as the trip wraps up in Montreal.
Thank you.
Adam Oates with the 0-2 winner, a couple of goals for the Washington Capitals in a good hockey game. But Jim and Ryan, as he said, these guys are so good when they have the lead going to the third period. I think a credit to the Vancouver Canucks that they showed patience and come out of here with Letha's point.
A huge point for them tonight as Washington shut down a lot of teams in the third period. That point may come in pretty handy when we get to about the 7th of April, Ryan.
I really think it will, and we talked about it late with under a minute to go in the game, you could see the Canucks backing up. They knew they had to maintain or at least hold that point and then go for it in overtime. Interesting tactics now. You know, when you look at getting the point and then going for it, Mark Crawford with 3 forwards, as Adam Oates pointed out, and a defenseman for most of the overtime trying to get the second point.
Well, the Canucks came into this game in 7th spot, trailing Phoenix. A little bit of a cushion on the Los Angeles Kings, and you can see that they've still got that. They get to 66 points with Edmonton still playing against Anaheim tonight, trying to get a little closer to them. I think that cushion may come in handy because the schedule is tougher for Vancouver. They have had their rest now, and they'll play every second night the rest of the way, and look what they've got to do. A lot of games on the road, a lot of games in the East out of their time zone.
And those road games are going to go by quick. I mean, there's going to be a whole bunch of them, I think 6 or 7 plugged together. So the Canucks are going to be very similar to these Washington Capitals. They're, you know, it's almost opposite in the way that the road happens. They're going to go on the road and they're going to come home and have some home games. But this is key for the Canucks to get this 1 point here this evening.
A big point for Vancouver, a big 2 points for the Washington Capitals. You know, they're tops in their Southeast Division, but they also have a shot at top spot overall in the Eastern Conference. They aren't very far out now. Perry?
Thank you very much, Jim. You know, you guys were talking when it was a 3-1 lead for Washington. This man beside me made several big saves. I think of one off Jeff Halpern in the slot. Dan Cloutier, give us your review on your first night in a Canuck uniform.
Well, I thought that we showed a lot of heart by coming back, but for myself, I was feeling pretty good tonight. I was seeing the puck well. The couple goals, obviously, I'd like to have back. I think the second one there caught me off guard, but overall, I thought that we battled for the point, and we need to get points right now any way we can, and we got one tonight, so we got to be pleased with at least getting a point.
That was the Bondra goal. Did it hit a stick or just surprise you? You made a great shot top time.
Well, it went off the D-man stick, but he's trying to get the puck out of the way. If he tips that far, it's still my shot. I still got to have it, and I didn't, but it's over with now. Guys battled back hard for me, and it was just too bad they had to get that overtime winner.
This morning when I talked to you, you said you were excited. Did you have nerves when they finally dropped the puck?
Yeah, a little bit. I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't. I was a little nervous, but I think it depends. I think I put it in a positive way. I came out, and I didn't think I didn't get a shot for a while there, but after that we got a couple chances, and that's what gets you in the game.
You haven't played a whole lot of hockey in the past couple of weeks due to injury in the All-Star break. Did you even feel any rust?
Just maybe playing the puck and whatnot. I wasn't used to my defenseman either. Those are the little things I'm going to have to get used to, and those are little things that my last game was 2 to 3 weeks away. So, but as the game kept going along, I think I felt more comfortable.
It was a new team. I know disappointed when you always lose, but at least happy that you fought back and leave with a point.
Yeah, very pleased about that. It just shows that you're never out of the game. I remember playing them at the start of the year. They came back on us, and that's great when you're goalie back there, and maybe the other team's up on you, but you know your team's going to battle back for you.
The atmosphere a little better here than in Tampa Bay?
Well, yeah, I think that like going into the third 3-1, showing a lot of heart like that coming back, I think it just shows what type of team this is.
Appreciate you coming by. Some big saves in the third period. Congratulations on the point.
Thank you.
Dan Cloutier makes his first full debut. He did get into the game Saturday night for the Vancouver Canucks, Brad, but I think the Canucks patient. It's a very good defensive hockey team in Washington. And you know what? As we've said during our telecast, now the work starts in earnest. They're going to be going at it every couple of days, and it starts with a weekend game in Edmonton, and then they're right back home on a back-and-back welcoming the New York Islanders. But they pick up a point, and that's definitely the positive here. And they're staying.
So are you, Perry. And we thank you for that. And it is a strange feeling. Darren and I were just talking. They lose the game in overtime, sort of that reaction of, and as the crowd leaves, realize they battled back to get a point. As Jim Houston pointed out, could be a big point down the stretch. There's a look at what's coming up for the Vancouver Canucks. And next while, it's going to be an interesting time for them now to try and make some hay in the Western Conference.
You're wondering what the guys are talking about in the staying front. This is the story. Fitting this is Valentine's Day because the courting is underway in the Grizzly front. American cities are lining up to take Vancouver's NBA team off the hands of the Lower Mainland. With details of the interested, here's Dan Murphy.
It's amazing how many cities want an NBA team, even a bad NBA team. But there are at least a half dozen U.S. cities interested in plucking the Grizzlies from Vancouver. St. Louis, New Orleans, Louisville, and Nashville are just a few markets in the market for NBA basketball. It's still speculation which city is the frontrunner, but it didn't take long for groups to start pitching themselves to Grizzlies owner Michael Heisley. In fact, Heisley took an 8-hour tour of Louisville 2 weeks before NBA Commissioner David Stern gave him the okay to explore a move. If Heisley wants to be somewhere else next season, he must make a deal before March 1st. That's the final day he can apply for relocation. And according to the Vancouver province, such a deal is already in place with former prospective owner Bill Laurie, who would purchase 51% of the franchise. On the other hand, if Heisley would rather move than sell, other cities like New Orleans wouldn't have to worry about securing ownership. That means they can concentrate solely on trying to make their pitch more appealing to Papa Bear.
An owner can come in here and can begin play next season. And I think for that reason, New Orleans has to go near the top of the list, if not to the top of the list. There aren't many cities out there that are NBA ready at the moment.
If and when this team moves remains to be seen. Where it would go is just another question. But this much is certain. A change of scenery won't magically transform the Grizzlies into a better franchise or a better team.
Whether it's Kentucky, whether it's Louisiana, New Orleans, or wherever, I think the product that you put on the floor has to be a winning product. And as players, we have to address that.
You still have to have the players. You still have to go out and perform and win the ball game. So no, just because if a team moves to another city doesn't mean you're going to get any better. It means the players have to get better and the team has to get better.
Dan Murphy, CTV Sportsnet, Vancouver.
All right, Dan, thanks. A penny for your thoughts or $10,000 for a few choice words. Following Monday's news that Vancouver will probably soon lose its NBA team, Grizzlies president Dick Versace waxed poetic yesterday about the other Canadian roundball squad and was fined $10,000 today by the NBA. In case you missed it, here's what put the dent in his wallet.
Well, it's really not working in Toronto. I mean, if you think that Toronto is making a lot of money, Toronto is 1 year away from the position that we're in, or whenever, I'm not sure when it is that Vince Carter is up, but whether he's up or whether he stays or he goes, they're in trouble. Because they'll be in trouble because if Vince demands a huge salary, which he's gonna, then their payroll is gonna go up dramatically. And they're just probably breaking even or making a little money right now.
Can't say that. Back to hockey now. It's not Disneyland followed by Disney's California Adventure, but the Oilers did complete a double dip of California's NHL theme parks tonight. Edmonton completing a 4-game road trip in Anaheim, knowing a victory over the floundering Ducks would give them a split on the journey, possibly creating a 6-point cushion for the final playoff spot. Well, only days ago, before that win over the LA Kings, the gap was 2. So the Oilers taking on the Ducks, and that means you have to shut down the dynamic duo. AC, the assistant and the captain, Timo and Paul Kariya. And the captain scores. Actually banks it in off Marty McInnes, who did nothing other than get credit for his 19th 1-0 Ducks. Oilers shorthanded. Mike Greer going to the net, going glove side on J.S. Giguère. Oilers' 10th shorthanded goal of the season. It's 1-1 of the second. 6 minutes in, Mike Comrie to Dan Cleary. Beautiful little play to go backhand, forehand. That was number 89. Yes, that is Mike Comrie picking up the assist. Solani and Kariya confer and say, that was a nifty play by those two. Do we have that in us? Kariya stops, pops, and oh yeah, Solani makes no mistake on Tommy Salo. 25 seconds later, the Ducks answer. Late in the second, Oiler power play. Sergei Zoltak, the errant point shot, and scores. But wait, no goal because the net was off its moorings. Zoltak argues to no avail. Before the end of the period, Larocque to Pittis. Zoltak robbed by Giguère, who sticks out the mitt. Perfect position. That was outstanding play by Giguère, who stayed right with him. So we go to the third period. Giguère loving this game. He has Zoltak's number, right? Number 34 steps in for his first as an Oiler. And you're telling me Zoltak's been around for a while? Yeah, 26 games, but late in the period. The extra attacker on, and the Ducks solve Salo. Mike LeClaire, the former Brandon Wheat King of the WHL, earns Anaheim a single point. That's making it happen with a goalie pulled. Zoltak, by the way, he does give Edmonton some positive news out of this, despite blowing the lead, because he scores his first goal in 26 games as an Oiler. Last time he found the net, November against Buffalo when he played for the Habs. Dan Cleary, by the way, also broke out of a slump. His first goal in 14 games. Check out Shane Corson and the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. The plaque in honor of his 1,000th NHL game. Glenn Healy in net for the Leafs. What a save in the first period. Heels was hot. He had to be because his forwards weren't helping him out much. Darcy Tucker turns it over. Here come the Blue Jackets. The 3-on-1. Jeff Sanderson, Robert Cron. No chance for Glenn Healy. It's 1-zip. Second period, Jackets 2-on-1. Tyler Wright has heels down, but Glenn Healy is bailed out by Dmitry Yushkevich. What a play by the defenseman. Looks like Chris Kernahan of the Sportsnet hockey team. At the other end, Gary Roberts digging the puck out of the corner. Finds Thomas Carverlay, who's pinching in. This game's tied up at 1 to the third period. Glenn Healy doing everything. Standing up and then getting bowled over by former teammate Kevin Adams, who's run over. Pat Quinn not impressive. That's why I gave you up in the expansion draft. Adams doesn't care. He's a hard-nosed player. Leafs power play. Sundin through Tugnut. Roberts picks up his 22nd. Toronto has the lead in their own building in the third period. Not for long. Glenn Healy, after being bumped, gives up the blast to Tyler Wright, who teed it up from about 8 feet away. They went to overtime. Toronto walks away with a 2-2 tie. They're now 3 points ahead of Buffalo in the Northeast Division. Healy, with 3 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties, was forced to make 4 saves in the third period to earn the single point.
One of the games of the night, battle for first overall in the Eastern Conference, Ottawa and New Jersey. Marty Brodeur has at least 1 point in his last 21 starts for the Devils. First minute, Martin Havlat's going to help change that because they get off and running to the Ottawa Senators, 1-0 on the 12th of the year for Havlat. They score in the first minute of the first period, and then they go to work in the last minute of the first. Marian Hossa, shot, save, rebound, score! 2-0 Sens. After 1, Hossa has 23. Second period action for Jacques Martin's club, Shane Knighty. Boy, you talk about perseverance paying off. Right in, stop. Just bank it off of the skate of Marty Brodeur. That streak is in danger now, 3-0 Sens. But the Devils can storm back at home in the swamp. Patrick Elias, keep an eye on him. Pass it out front, get it back, so give him a goal and an assist. Whoa, the shot fools Lalime through traffic. The Devils would add one later, but the Senators win it 3-2. So Ottawa now leads Jersey by 2 points in the Eastern Conference. Marty Brodeur's last loss in regulation came back on December 16th. Ottawa snaps a 5-game winless streak and improved to 13-11-4 on the road.
Straight ahead on Primetime Sports Central, Sorotka Gate gets personal for White Sox general manager Kenny Williams. An entertaining news conference to come. Can the Lakers survive another assault from a pint-sized point guard? And Mario Lemieux wheeling and dealing in the NHL, settling a feud with Jacques Lemaire. Rob Blake, he's not playing very good right now. John Garrett tells us why after the shortest commercial. 100% better than it was last Friday. He would have played against Minnesota. You see, he was motivated by the fact Wild head coach Jacques Lemaire publicly called him a whiner this week. Reacting to Lemieux's disdain for his defensive trap in the Minnesota victory on Sunday, Lemaire said, "If we take checking and hitting out of the game, I'll come back and play. Be just like Wednesday afternoon hockey that we play." Mario Lemieux trying to shut Lemaire up. First period, deals to his teammate Robert Lang, who tees it up, but Jacques' nephew, that's Manny Fernandez, tending goal for the Minnesota Wild. Big save. Wes Walz wheeling, dealing, and scores on the southpaw J.S. Obon. 1-0 Wild. Late in the second. Penn's power play. Mario Lemieux has a chance to put it down Lemaire's throat, and he can't do it because Fernandez, that's family unity, sticking up for his uncle. Third period. Mario Lemieux right down the middle. Scores glove side. Mario's 18th goal, and he's not done. Late in the third. Jaromir Jagr will intercept a clearing pass. Look at the poise. Walks behind the net. Some room on the pick. Lemieux sideboards. Lemieux scores. It actually banked off a skate in front and deflected past Manny Fernandez. Mario getting a little love from the fans on Valentine's Day. Lemieux with his 68th game-winning goal of his career. 2 on the night, 19 and 18 assists in 20 games since coming back. He led the Penguins at ice time again. And Jagr, with an assist, extended his scoring streak to 15 games, the longest in the NHL this season. So Mario answers with all the offense that Pittsburgh needed. Now he's in a great mood. He's heating up for a special edition of Tuesday Night Hockey, which comes up in a couple of days. Friday night, coast to coast on the net. we have Mario, we have New Jersey, two of the powerhouses in the Eastern Conference. Little afternoon hockey to get your weekend started. If any of us had an ounce of credibility before Wayne Gretzky and Steve Ellman started their pursuit of the Phoenix Coyotes, it's all gone now. The team's PR department telling me tonight the official purchase of the franchise, expected to be completed today, will now take place tomorrow. Ellman and club president Sean Hunter are in New York working things through with outgoing owner Richard Burke. If this happens tomorrow, if it happens tomorrow, Wayne will fly from California, where he's with his family, to Raleigh in time to address the team prior to the Dogs' clash with the Canes on Friday. So, is it the final night for Bob Francis and the Coyotes working under Richard Burke, taking on the Florida Panthers? Loose puck, Trevor Letowski, do something with it. Slap shot to the far post and in behind Trevor Kidd. He's still looking, oh, there it is. But unfortunately for Trevor, it's already in the net. Keith Tkachuk. He's having a great season. Will he stay a Coyote? Can't answer that right now, but Keith with a nifty pass to Jeremy Roenick. 21st goal of the season, 399 in his career, 2-zip Dogs. Second period. Here come the Cats. Yeah, they're fighting like cats and dogs tonight. Robert Esch in goal for Phoenix. Gets a break in the post, but he mishandles the rebound, and Pavel Bure mops up, cuts the Florida deficit to 2-1. After Bure's second of the game tied it up at 2, Victor Kozlov will go looking for Bure in the hat trick. Look at the top of your screen, right beside the net. That's Pavel. Wait. Yeah, you might want to look after him if you're the Phoenix Coyotes. Bure with the natural hat trick. We showed you 2 of the 3. The third one's coming up in plays of the day. Shane Doan answers back for Phoenix. What a slap shot. Power play goal ties it up at 3. But with 6 minutes to go, Robert Esch can't stop Gus. Greg Adams with a game-winning goal. And Florida stuns Phoenix 4-3. The Panthers playing their best hockey of the year. 5-2 in their last 7. Bure, back-to-back hat tricks. 15 goals in his last 11 and leads the NHL with 38. Sean Burke sat this one out. Second straight game he watched, suffering from a bruised knee.
The Toronto Blue Jays certainly weren't laughing, but there was no denying the humor yesterday in this